Okay, so I have here a piece of correspondence between Albert Einstein and somebody that had been posing a question to him wherein Einstein states, quote, according to the general theory of relativity, one must consider that the Foucault pendulum adjusts itself to be rotation free with respect to the total mass of the universe. End quote. So, knowing that Einstein has a very bad habit wherein everything he says is inflated with gobbledygook and word salad to make it sound more profound than it really is, right? Because of the fact that he's arguing fallacious points. That's why he does this. He has to make everything overly complicated. What he's saying here is that because of relativity, you can look at the Foucault pendulum as if it's demonstrating Earth rotation or as if it's demonstrating a stationary Earth in a rotating universe. That's literally what he's saying here. Especially, this is made especially clear when you take into consideration his correspondence with Ernst Mach, which I've uploaded prior, from June 1913, wherein he states, quote, if one accelerates an inertial spherical shell S, shown here by this diagram, then according to the theory a body enclosed by it, which would be Earth here in the center, experiences an accelerating force. If the shell S rotates about an axis passing through its center relative to the fixed stars, then a Coriolis field arises inside the shell, i.e., the plane of the Foucault pendulum is being carried along. Now, keep in mind, this is correspondence to Ernst Mach. If you don't know who that is, he's even more of a relativist than Einstein was. These guys, their whole principle is that you can look at things two ways, right? So they try to assert that there is literally no such thing as absolute space. Do you know what that means? That means that the Foucault pendulum, that people constantly try to use as proof of Earth rotation, isn't proof. According to the fucking head honcho of the mainstream academic fucking cosmology, or rather theory of cosmology, which gets propagated by every major institution, every major news outlet, every major textbook, right? They all follow the macroscopic theory of relativity. So, according to the head honcho himself, the Foucault pendulum is not proof of Earth rotation. Take it up with Einstein if you have an issue with it. You're the ones that praise him so much. I think he's a fucking moron. But hey, I guess he fucking did me a favor with this one. Now, why am I explaining all of this in the way that I am? Because on this very same page that I just linked, where he has this letter, the individual who's talking about it has no idea what they themselves are talking about, and they go on to confuse the matter like people normally do. So look down here. Right here. In indicating that the total mass of the universe gives definition to the metric tensor, influencing through its mediation the inertial behavior of the mass of the Foucault pendulum, Einstein is implicitly invoking Mach's principle, like the ultra-relativist Mach, right? Einstein is implicitly invoking Mach's principle and demonstrating the interdependence of gravity and motion. The statement that the pendulum is rotation-free with respect to the total mass of the universe is Einstein's somewhat oblique way of signaling that in actual fact, it is the Earth that is rotating and not the universe that is rotating around a still Earth. That makes no sense. This person whose comment I just read in regard to Einstein's letter has no idea how to interpret this information. This is not the correct interpretation whatsoever. This makes no sense. This flies in the face of the entire point of the response. This is a completely backwards interpretation of what's being said here, as I've just demonstrated. Do you think these two relativists are having this fucking conversation for no reason? Are you kidding me? Like, let's use some fucking common sense here. Do you think the two relativists are talking about how you must consider that the Foucault pendulum adjusts itself to be rotation-free with respect to the total mass of the universe? Do you think they're talking about this to fucking prove that the Earth is rotating? Or do you think they're talking about this, these two relativists, to say, well, you can look at it either way? Much love.